Hi, team. We're going to talk about budgeting today, the ins and outs of budgeting, the myths about budgeting, all this fun stuff. But I want to start off with the quote first. Budgeting gives you the freedom to spend, but the discipline to say no. Let me say it again. Budgeting gives you the freedom to spend, but the discipline to say no. That's not the direct quote, but it's very close, it's very similar. Whatever. So, most people that come in and I talk to, when they don't want to budget, they say because it limits their spending potential. It limits how much they can spend where they want to spend it. And I'm like, okay, just so you know, you're the one dictating where you're spending your money. You get to decide whether it's on a budget or not. You get to decide where you're spending your money. Ain't no one except the government telling you where to spend your money. And I kind of said it as a joke, but it's not a joke. It's so true that we get to decide these things. It's our budget. So really, we need to understand what actually a budget is. What a budget is it's setting goals for our money so that we can achieve those goals that we want, that we've set for ourselves. It's nothing more than that. It's not dictating where you need to spend your money. It's just prioritizing your spending. Did you know that you are actually 42% more likely to win at a goal or achieve a goal when you actually write it down? And what a better place to write a financial goal down than in, guess what? A budget. When we set goals for ourselves, especially financial goals, and we prioritize it in our budget, we are more likely to win. Not because we sacrifice our whole entire lifestyle, but just simply because we know where our money is going, and then we decide, hey, you know what? I'm spending way too much money over here, or I want to achieve this goal, so I'm going to be more willing to sacrifice in other areas to make sure that goal happens. I had someone come in here, sit down, well, not here specifically, but probably like 6 months ago, and talk about how they wanted to build out a house down payment. And they wanted to figure out this house down payment in like 5 years. I was like, okay, that's great. Can I see your budget? Because I'd really like to help you see if I could maybe make this happen for you quicker, because I'm this kind of nice person sometimes on occasion. And they're like, well, I don't have a budget. You don't have a budget? No, I don't believe in budgets. You don't believe in budgets. Do you just not like budgets? What's going on? He's like, no, I don't like budgets. I'm like, how are you going to save up this money? How do you know you're going to meet your goal in 5 years? Well, I'm just going to get aggressive at saving. I'm like, okay, how much per month do you need to actually start saving to make this happen? I don't know. I haven't figured it out. Okay, well, you definitely need to figure that out. Do I? I'm just going to get really gazelle intense on saving and should make it happen. And I was just like, okay, but you need to know so you can actually meet your goal. And I was like, have you been good at saving before? No. I'm just gonna get gazelle intense and meet this goal. Okay, but if you don't write this goal down and you don't figure out the math, you may come up short. I don't think I'll come up short. Yeah, but you'll never know until you actually write it down and figure out what you need. Well, I guess that's right. So, like, where would I write this down? I kid you not, this is what he said. Where do I write this down? On a budget? On a budget? So, anyways, whenever I see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel with like people I'm talking to, which was there's a little bit of light there, I start making kind of inappropriate jokes sometimes. And so I basically just ask this question. I'm just like, okay, so you don't want a budget. Are you afraid of winning? Like gives me the biggest stare, wide open eyes stare. He's like, what? I was like, are you afraid of being or of beating this goal? Are you afraid of overachieving this goal? He's like, I don't know what you mean. And I'm like, The whole idea here is that's all budgeting is it's setting goals for your money, and that will help you achieve the goal that you want to achieve. If you want to go spend all your money on candy, go for it. It's kind of a stupid decision, but you can decide to do that if you want. But if you want to actually achieve something like that 5-year down payment for a mortgage, you have to write it down, and you have to figure out how much per month you need to actually start saving to make that goal happen. Otherwise, it might never happen. Otherwise, it might happen in 7 years. Otherwise, you'll get so disappointed you'll just give up. Write it down. Budgeting gives you the freedom to spend, but the discipline not to. I'm sorry I went a little bit longer this video, but I just had some rants I needed to get out. So cheering for you. Keep going. Keep winning. See ya.